So today we have with us Nadia Araujo to talk to us about family law and the international law aspect. And my first question is, what could you tell us about your central thesis about the talk you gave to the fellow program today?
Well, it was on the theme of child abduction, the Hague Convention on Child Abduction, and it is a 90/80 convention, and the countries meet every 5 years to see how to improve the convention. And in 2012, they decided that they needed to develop rules on giving private agreement between the parties, recognition and enforcement elsewhere. Because when there's a child abduction case, sometimes after a while, the family wants to mediate, the family wants to reach an agreement, and they want to decide all aspects of their relationship, not only the return of the child. The Child Abduction Convention only deals with the return, clear cut. You live in one place, you were abducted to another country, you have to go back. The judge where the child was abducted to has to return it. Well, sometimes after a while, the family wants more. The family wants to deal with the situation and reach an agreement that involves also maintenance, guardianship, and all that. And if they reach this agreement, the judge of the country where the child was abducted for may not accept that. So the group, the Hague Conference, set up an expert group to develop some ideas for the future in this area. And the group recognized that there is a need for rules for this package. It is a package, and it has to be portable. It has to be able to travel. It has to be able to be enforced elsewhere. Not only in that country, but even in the third country, if they go on vacation, if they relocate, and things like that. So I'm part of the expert group that started its work in 2013, and we should have a meeting during this year to develop more ideas on this matter.
So based on that brief explanation, what would you say is the main takeaway message, or perhaps where this issue will stand in the future now that an expert group is in place?
That we're going through a phase with party autonomy for families, while before party autonomy was not only for contracts. Families are being empowered to decide their matters outside the court. And for the future, I believe this convention, which should not deal with all aspects of child abduction, which is geared towards a group of questions when a family is ready to make a new decision, is ready to heal from the whole process and get out of the courts and decide their future, then this convention would be very helpful if we decide that it's a traditional convention, not a set of principles, non-binding rules. We haven't decided yet if we want a classic convention or if we want non-binding rules. In fact, it's not for us to decide, it's for us to propose to the meeting of general affairs where all the countries are united and decide how the future work will be developed.
Great. Well, my last question for you is, do you have any advice for U.S. law students on this topic?
Yes, it's a very promising area. There's a lot of work, and you need to be aware of the characteristics of other countries and other laws, because when you are in a case like that, you have to know the rules where you make the agreement, and you also have to know the rules of the other countries where you want to enforce the agreement. So it calls for a lot of studies in comparative law. It's a nice area to understand how countries have different laws, how countries have different ways of deciding family law issues.
Great. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate your thoughts on this topic.
Thank you.